How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the James Lab Podcast. And today our special guest is Ian, Uncle Dad Vibes. How are you doing today?
Doing well, yeah. It's a nice drive over. Chill. It's the first time in the studio. It's amazing.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Thank
congrats.
You. Yeah, so you do breeding. We see each other at events. Tell me about yourself, because I know a little bit, but I want to hear from you.
Well, I mean, since I was a young teenager, I was into weed, and it's always been a part of my life in some way. And things eventually led to me going from working in restaurants at the time to going down south and taking like a full-time all-in job with my brother's friend at a cultivation facility, like in the gray area. Yeah. And it just like escalated quickly, and that blew up into a couple more buildings and got super into it. I also, at the time, I still didn't think it was like, oh, this can't be like a job like forever.
A real career.
Yeah. So I was like always thinking about like, oh man, what am I going to do next? But I loved it. And tied in, as you know, like pretty well with the kitchen flows and production flows.
It's very similar.
Timing, consistency, and
yeah, I mean, I think
tastes.
work ethic. So with kitchen employees and cannabis employees, like if you're talking about grow room, I feel like there's a bunch of overlap.
Yes.
And if you have that work ethic, you can repeat the same thing over and over and over and still be happy. You'll probably fit in either place.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always like the job for originally, well, I mean, cooking has kind of turned into, restaurants, I feel like, have become more of a normal job career, whereas before it was like that's where the like pirates and troublemakers ended up, is like working in kitchens, and,
right.
And it's kind of similar with the weed industry.
Tattoos.
Yeah. It's like I know I can always work in a kitchen or I can always work at a grow.
Well, I feel like once you have either one of those skills, you can kind of go back to that anytime you want. I feel like chefs, people that are working in kitchens, you can go anywhere in the world and do that. And slowly but surely, our industry is going to be like that. You'll be able to cultivate anywhere in the world. They're going to have cultivations everywhere. That's just the beauty of it.
That's pretty amazing. Just hearing about all the new people coming on, it's like it's happening so quickly that I can't even keep track of the new places. Like, oh, someone's in
Macedonia.
Yeah.
Literally, Macedonia
Wild.
is online. Colombia is online. Brazil, which is a huge country, they're online. They're killing it. I wouldn't say they're killing it, but they're about to be online and about to kill it because of the population size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's exciting, and like to see how every new place coming on is going to affect everyone else. It's like a lot of audibles being called in the moment, and I think that's a fun element of it for sure. It's like a little unsure, but we've already dealt with plenty of issues, I think.
Yeah, California's seen a lot of it. I mean, I think we started it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've seen the problems. We've seen the consolidation. We've seen all that stuff. You've seen the consolidation. We've seen it together. We've seen a lot of companies come and go.
Yeah.
From the traditional market and the medical market, and then evolving into rec. We've seen companies that were good in medical, come into rec, struggling, and then go away. Or some of them have really succeeded.
Yeah, and like the symbiosis between the black and the white market, and both have rescued the other at certain times. It's pretty wild.
Totally. Well, and so going back to kitchens, I feel like some of the best breeders out there have worked in the restaurant industry. It's just facts.
I mean, I just wanted, when I started, it was just because I wanted to have flavors that sounded good to me at the time. And I was like, I want like something unique and something different. And I just wanted to play around with that. And then I got lucky in that I was with Finest when we had the collaboration with Kevin Canrado. And so totally. I got to be a part of that process for the first line and the second line for Finest.
Yeah, and rest in peace, Jay.
R.I.P. Jay. Yeah, the real one. I mean, Finest has never been the same, but Christian was great, and I still love a lot of people at Finest.
I love Christian. I did a really solid team. I mean, when I first walked into Finest with Jay at the helm, and I feel like he was so motivational and so many, he influenced so many of us, right? Like in so many good ways. I miss Jay.
Me too. He's one of my little sister's best friends. We're all from the same weird place in Iowa.
Nice.
And actually, because he was up here, that's how I knew to even check it out. And my friend Mandy was running some marketing for him, and she's like, "Oh, you should go check out Jay and Bo are up in Sacramento." I was like, "Wait, they're doing it legally, and like they're like posting things, and this is what like."
I'd love to get Bo on the podcast. Long time coming. It'd be great. I actually met Bo before I met Jay.
Nice.
But then I had a pretty good relationship with Jay. We were about to do some stuff before the week before he passed, we were smoking Sunset Sherbet on the picnic bench at Finest a long time ago.
Jay had like the twinkle, like the magic that would get anyone excited for it. So
he loved weed.
I was definitely loved weed. And he was just so into it. It's like he didn't care. Like he was all in, and it was just contagious. And yeah, it was definitely a major part of it was lost. And that's, I think everyone carried it on as much as possible. And Christian did a really good job. And then he's gone. And then all of a sudden it's like the staff there is amazing. I love everyone that's still there. Mm-hmm.
Their TC program's pretty good over there.
For sure. Heard. Yeah. Justin kills it.
Yeah. Matt wrote the tissue culture chapter in my book.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. And so that's a long chapter. I didn't feel like I was knowledgeable enough to write it. So we had Matt write it, Matt Schneider. Big shout out to Matt. Thank you so
Matt's
much.
Amazing. Yeah. He's
really nice guy, really smart.
And he can present things in a way where even people like me can understand it. I'm like not from the science background. I'm like more of the bro science or hippie science or vibes. And so it's pretty cool seeing him and like being there. Like each time I've gone for a tour and like heard him go over everything, like it's still learn something new each time.
Right.
And I think they have consistency that you want, and the practices that you want.
He's super passionate too.
Yeah.
He's another one of those guys that's just he's into it. He's into the plant, loves it.
He's never seemed like less bored or less interested when he's explaining it to someone for the 1,000th time.
He's doing real mirror stem work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
so that's what I see a lot of these tissue culture companies that aren't doing real mirror stem work. And then we got guys like Matt that are doing the real thing.
Yeah. It's like you don't want to hate on people for trying and dabbling, but there's definitely a difference between.
Right. Well, there's
levels to
there's levels, just like everything else, just like with quality and cannabis and with breeding, there's levels to this stuff. And Matt is on the top level of tissue culture. A lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with doing nodal, right? There's nothing wrong with nodal intake, using nodal for banking genetics, but you're not going to clean it with nodal necessarily if you have pests. Pests maybe, pathogens, no.
You can multiply the pathogens well and like, but yeah, I agree. I think it's more emphasis needs to be put on that. And it's not just nonsense. It's like there's a big, huge difference. And when you can go have someone actually explain it and show you a picture or video, and not just be something that you're like never really seen it in action, but you know the terminology, like it helps to see it all in person.
I mean, I think honestly in the future, most of the big corporations out there, the cannabis corporations that are going to be out there, they're going to be using tissue culture. Like there's a need for it. It's a necessity. If you don't have it, you're going to be missing out. There's all kinds of benefit to it, and using real, as far as clean genetics, it's so important with hoplite and viroid. We see Conception and companies like that are killing it.
Yeah, I agree. I think you have to, at the very least, have rotating mother stock that is from TC. Otherwise,
and you can buy it, but if you have a tissue culture program,
it's
less expensive. It might be more expensive up front, but if you have a good, and the thing is, it's all volume too, depending on your volume.
Mm-hmm. And and you can just, if you're safe from the very beginning, then you can kind of be okay and survive with the nodal. But if you have to make sure your testing is appropriate, and the testing, as you know, is wild. It's like, to me, it's very similar to the COVID testing. Like this works 50%, and like this is a false, this is a positive. It's only of this period after this incubation period, and
testing it properly in the roots. I mean, there's a lot of false positives. There can be false negatives, false positives for sure.
So you're just like, is it just a joke that I keep doing it and sending it in, or is it Because when I send it to the lab because I want to know the right answer, or
in-house testing makes it more affordable too.
Mm.
But there's companies like Toomey that I think do a really good job with testing. We've used Toomey in the past. So yeah, but these are all things that big companies are going to do in-house. Why wouldn't you do? Just like with breeding, you're going to do your own data analytics in-house.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that with the testing of all kinds, I mean, that could be a whole conversation, the issues with testing all around cannabis, but the having standard practices and everyone being held to the same rules would be nice, because especially with like THC and other stuff, it's kind of a joke. I mean, we all know it's a joke. We're all playing the game.
Yeah. There's not a lot of places in our industry that need more oversight. That's one of them, right? I feel like testing, I think there needs to be standardization. I think there's this, especially for the consumer, because you're fooling the consumer at the end of the day.
Yeah. And really, like, I just don't understand. I mean, I don't see if it's not going to make it be a health hazard. Like, I just don't. I would like to go through all this just for people to realize that it doesn't matter for the THC and the potency. I mean, I just don't think that it matters enough to have that be a thing. I think it's just a number that was used to create value by people who didn't know anything about.
Yeah. Well, we can both agree that some stuff that tests at 20% can be stronger than stuff that tests at 35%.
For sure. And person to person, because of
our individual body chemistries and the entourage effect. And I mean, we get different effects from it.
It's like put a perfume on, it smells different on one person than it does on another. And
right.
Like that, but for your mind and your body. And
totally. Yeah, and I like a lot of the stuff that's like 20%, 23%. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'd say the only consistency in the testing is that most of my favorite stuff is 18 to 22.
Yeah.
And
terpy.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that's super terpy is in that 18 to 23, I think.
Yeah, you get those lowers that haven't been burnt out in the sun. Tasty.
Yeah, I'm all about terps too. I know you are too. I smoked flower with you a bunch, and I've seen you giving me flower. I've given you flower. Yeah. We've tried each other's flower.
You gave me that haze on the David Downs event. And that was amazing. I mean,
I love hazes too.
I love hazes. I love sativas. I get real intense anxiety from smoking, and so I'm definitely lightweight. And everyone always says that the sativas or whatever are the ones that cause that, and for me, it's definitely not the case at all.
Yeah, it's funny how our individual body chemistries can be so different, where people are like, dude, sativas, they make my heart beat crazy. Like I feel like I go to a hospital, and then like I'm not like that really. Mm-hmm. I can be like that if I take a dab of some crazy, or I smoke some Durban. There's certain ones, but like to generalize saying that all sativas, I mean, it's a real weird thing because we're working with hybrids anyway.
Yeah. And it's like just even calling things sativas it's hilarious. It's like not a real.
Yeah, almost all the sativas in the California market are hybrids that lean towards that equatorial expression. They might have narrow leaves, they might have terpinolene, limonene, but most of them are, they're hybrids that just lean in that direction a little bit. Whereas like over in Europe, you see a lot more of the pure expressions.
For sure. And I think for me personally, the effect is not whether it's sativa or the indica. It's definitely like the terpenes or the cannabinoids. And like I can smell in a bag. I'm like, this is going to give me the fear. Or like, this is going to make me not talk for 4 hours. So
which cultivars typically do that?
Honestly, it's some of my favorite ones. It's like the piney and
like OGs.
Yeah, like I love OGs, but definitely whether it's leaning a little more like the heavy piney, it's just like I know it's going to be a risk.
Yeah,
it might be one puff, and then
I'm the opposite. I love those. I love the pine. I absolutely, the pine is one of my. I mean, when you say it, it makes me smile because I'm just like, oh, pine. I think of that piney.
My favorite weed is. Outside of like the hazes is probably like I love a Skywalker, I love Tahoe, I love the OGs. If I can catch the right moment, I don't know if it's like a personal thing or where my headspace is, but those are some of my favorite smokes ever. I've never really been that into the
candy fruity,
the cookies and the cakes, and like the fruity I love because of the taste,
right?
And since I am a moderate, lightweight. I really just like, I love the flavor. I love the plant all the way through. It's like coffee. I love all the way through. I love the smell of the beans. I love like all that part. Like once it's actually brewed and ready, that's just like a cherry on top. But like
Yeah.
the rest of the process and the rest of the smells and flavors is I love that.
I love coffee too.
Mhm.
I drink coffee every day. I do mushroom coffee, but I also like regular. I just love coffee beans. We have coffee beans here.
Yes.
Palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things. They stay fresh for a long time, but like it's really good so you don't get too much palate fatigue. I like coffee beans.
Mhm. Yeah, I love talking to Uncle John about coffee because we kind of nerd out on terps and then we nerd out on coffee, and he'll always like bring me a bag from wherever he's gone.
Yeah.
And same thing, I just almost like I would almost with the flower. Like my favorite thing is smelling like the pre-harvest, just
Right.
smelling the unique flavors and expressions, and just being like blown away every single time. I mean,
Right.
I've always got something new that I got to smell. Like no matter what you're doing, if it's production run, like at least throw a few plants in there, something
Right.
new. And
I love that too. Same
Mhm.
thing.
it never ceases to amaze me what you can get out of it. Like you have to remember when Christian and I were looking at these strawberries and cream from Exotic Mike, and it was like real strawberry flavor, candy strawberry flavor, totally like the real deal smell of each of those. And they were from the same pack, right next to each other on the table.
Very purple punchy.
Yeah.
Very purple punchy.
Mhm.
But I have to say, Mike's one of the best breeders out there. I give him a lot of credit for his work and even just changing my way of thinking about certain things. Just one conversation with Mike, we were talking about herms
Hmm.
and how, yeah, it sucks, but also like how many good packs and good seeds are found in packs with stuff that has
For sure. Yeah.
hermaphrodites, right?
I
Like,
agree.
so you can't totally, the benefits outweigh the issues. And if people are willing to go through, if you're putting them on an acre, you don't want herms, right?
Sure. It
But if
depends like what you're, what
you're
your
pheno
application
hunting
is. Mhm.
and you have 2 or 3 amazing phenos and you have some that have issues, and I'm not saying that you want a whole bunch of shitty expression like that, but
Right. It all takes like, oh, it's a waste of a little 4x4 cup, or but I'm the same way. Like, I don't care what the germ rate is. I don't care if there's some herms in there. Like, if I'm hunting to
Right.
find something, I just don't care at all.
I'm 100% the same way. I want decent germ rates because people expect higher germ rates, right? But I will take a shitty pack that only has 50% germ rates over a lot of this garbage that has 100%. I'm looking for quality, right? At the end of the day, the germ rate doesn't dictate quality, in my opinion.
For sure. I mean, if I want to sell the seeds, which I still have never done, but I would like, at some point I need to be able to keep making seeds.
You gave me seeds.
I've given you seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gift
You have killer seed packs too.
But like sometimes, I'm like, I'm not going to worry about them. Like I just scoop them in the vial. Like it might be 30, 40 seeds in each one. I don't care. And half of my poppy, you're going to at least get 10 or 11 for sure. And like, I don't like if I was going to sell them and like you get 10 seeds, this is the deal. I would definitely care about the germ rate for my stuff going out. But I'm just like, for me personally, I'm like the universe decides, survival of the fittest. If 3 out of these 50 make it, those 3 are going to be special. Like,
Yeah.
I've had hunts where popped maybe 50. I don't do huge hunts like through 150 or 200. I mean, I've never really had the means to do that and survive.
Yeah, it's
but
expensive.
I'll do I like a solid 24 seed pop hunt, maybe 6 to 8 go in the garden, and if there's potentials and they're good, then I'll keep going with more.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I just want to keep
going.
checking out the new stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of us get excited about checking out new stuff, seeing stuff we've never seen before.
Mhm.
It's so easy to make seeds, but to do the actual work where you're going through doing the selection, that's where the magic happens.
I think that's everything. And like you're saying, it's like I don't think it's. I think that a lot of it, all the magic is in the hunt. And like you could take any seed combination. I'm sure like you could go through enough seeds, you could probably find something cool. Even if something terrible crosses something terrible, I believe in the plant. Like it's going to give you a little.
I've seen both. I've seen some shitty. I've seen some work from people where I'm like, man, this is garbage, right? And then I can see. Well, I take that back. It's not. So what happens is you can turn something and make it vanilla, right? You take something really good and one of the parents is really good, and then they cross it with something like White Widow, And all of a sudden it turns into a vanilla version of that cultivar. I mean, we look at OG Kush and what happened with
the soul out of it somehow.
Dude, like literally in the 90s in Europe, when they got part of it was the selection problem, right? So they got OG Kush. They probably got the real OG Kush. They crossed it with Critical, White Widow, whatever it was, right? And then the selections they did for the future generations of seeds were done on vigor. And so that's not a good way to go.
I agree. I mean, it's hard depending if what you're looking for in it, but for me, it's always like, I don't care if one is this big and one is this big. Like, it's the smell. If this one has twice the smell of the donkey dick, I'm going for the little one and be like, I'll figure something out later. I'll figure out how to feed it and get the most out of it. But like, you're a chef, like Kumamoto oysters. I was like, compare that. It's like, sometimes the big oysters are not
the Miyagi's and the Kumamotos.
Yeah,
I love them all day.
The BC. Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with giant oysters.
I'm not going to eat a raw giant Gulf oyster though. Probably not. I'm not that hardcore enough.
Get a little bit of chevron.
I'll grill it for sure. Yeah.
Get a little bit of chevron in there.
Yeah.
Like literally, but
BP and
you can grill them, you can fry them, you can do oysters Rockefeller. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do.
And those ones you can't do. Like the little ones are not good for that. So it's like you got to find the things that fit for whatever you're looking for. And I do really like that about our plant also. It's like you have my goal. I just want to find all the outlets because I hate throwing plants away. I hate ending lineages, and I don't like. There's got to be something I can do with this 13%.
I'm the opposite. I'm
fluffy. Yeah,
I'm the king of coal. Like literally, I have no problem throwing stuff away. I might be a little too aggressive, but when we're doing pheno hunts, it's like we have so much stuff, and every single plant you keep alive costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
I used to be very much like you, where I wanted to keep all the plants, and then as I've done it more and spent more money and realized what, finding a cultivar, what it costs. You could be $50,000 in if you're doing it the right way. You might get lucky at home. You might, other people get lucky at home. But if you're actually trying to grow through plants, you could be $50,000 in a year's worth of time before you have a winner that hits the market.
For sure.
And a lot of my white label stuff has gone out there and, done really well.
Yeah, I mean, I for sure, like it is a bummer. Like sometimes you'll have like 6 of something that go into flower, and there's like 3 bangers that you can't even you're like, oh, I don't know how to pick. And then you have the bigger runs, and you're like, nothing is quite there. Like I'll even do a run through over and over and be like until I exhaust my, palate, and then I'm like, if something sticks out now, maybe that's the one. But at that point, if it gets to that and it's not a winner, it's not a winner.
Yeah,
and so I'm thinking more like, how do I find, I do that would that be good for an extract or something? But I try to keep one of certain crosses, unless it's really obvious that they don't work. And like you were saying before, it's like sometimes you'll take 2 winners. There's a lot of people that are coming out and doing seed lines that are just taking the 2 most popular things and crossing it.
So many people. They're not actually doing any hunting, right? Yeah.
Which part of that was exciting for you? I mean, it's like
the money part.
Yeah, the money part.
Yeah. For certain people, and everybody gets joy from different things in life, right? I get joy from the hunt, the experience of going through stuff. Also the culling part, like getting rid of stuff. That also gets me a little bit excited. We definitely eliminate 50% right out of the gate through the first round, and we'll do multiple rounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that, and everyone, I'm sure, depending on your space, has how the breakdowns go. But you have to do, if you're actually going to run stuff, you got to do a few trials. You do throwing one of each or 3 of each in, and then that's usually how it starts. It's do 3 of each of the new plant, and then the top ones go on to maybe a half a bench or a 36 count, and then you can start playing with the waterings or seeing what's going on. But originally it's throw them to the wolves, see what happens. They're gonna eat what everyone else eats, and they're gonna deal with what everyone else eats, and see how they do, if they can make that. Michael from Gage Green? I don't know.
So he's another survival of the fittest guy.
Mm-hmm.
He has some amazing. I've had amazing conversations with him about survival of the fittest. The males, only the strong will survive.
Yeah.
Literally, he gets into it, and he's super passionate about it too. And he's very much a believer in only the strong survives. I'm doing my selections based on the ones that want to live
Oh, yeah.
And he has that same kind of vibe style. I try to use a little more science, and he's definitely more like, like intuition, right? And there's nothing wrong with either one of those. And I have intuition too. I get excited when I'm right, especially about stuff where I'm like, dude, this one's going to be the one. Sure. And then when you smoke it, because really, until you smoke it, you won't know if it's really the one, right? So if you're not a smoker, it's hard to be a pheno hunter. You can go off morphology, you can go off a lot of different things, right? You can go off analytics, but until you smoke it.
And that's something even though I like notoriously lightweight, like I said, like I will, if I have to Bill Clinton 6 joints, in a row, like I will do it. I'm going to taste it, and I got to pick out what I like, and I'll sacrifice my mental state. Usually then that was the other reason I got into the breeding, is like I wanted to find things that I could smoke a fat joint of by myself and just like actually have pleasurable experience all the way through. Yeah. And everyone's like, we'll just smoke CBD. I'm like, I don't want to fucking smoke CBD, dude. Like, I mean, it's fine. No offense to CBD, but I still want weed.
I got some CBD for you.
Okay. Well, I'm down.
I got some CBD that I want to give you. So I have some stuff for sure. I don't think we have clones of it ready right now, but definitely I have some CBD that'll be right up your alley.
Cool.
I got to talk to my buddies over at Flow Garden, make sure it's okay to share it, but I'm pretty sure Eric would be cool with me sharing some of the stuff that he's got. It's just, I like one-to-ones too. I think one-to-ones are really good, but some of these new CBD varieties that are coming out, these cultivars are nuts.
I know. I mean, I'm probably behind the times, and I'm not against it, but it's just like if I want to drink a real beer and a non-alcoholic beer is there's like
But if your non-alcoholic beer tastes like Skittles,
but they also have non-alcoholic beers that are incredible now.
I haven't tried it.
Like
I'm not big on non-alcoholic beers. I haven't had any good ones, and maybe they have them. And it's just the same situation with beer. Maybe I have gout, so I don't drink beer.
Okay.
But I didn't like non-alcoholic beer when I tried drinking non-alcoholic beer. As far as weed, CBD, there's not a lot of guys cultivating amazing CBD flower. First of all, second of all, there's a lot of genetics were bred for field production that weren't like necessary. They were made for extract, or they were made for this or that. They weren't made for flower production. But there's some guys out there that are, I don't even know the name of the breeder that's worked with Eric, but he has some amazing stuff.
I think that's cool. Like actually doing it for that purpose instead of having things that like don't work the way you want them and then pushing them to another category. I think that is where, because I've seen people that are doing like low hitting stuff and whatever, and it's like they're throwaway stuff that doesn't pass their standards to go on their top shelves. And I'm like, I just want to go really hard to find stuff, and I don't care whether it hits over my number or under, but like I want the effects, and I know it's going to be different person to person, so it's kind of a risky game, but like I just want to put a lot of intention into it and find things that are just more mellow in the sense like where and also show people that like the number on the bag doesn't matter. Like this could be a more mellow experience, even though it says 31%. I have some 31%ers that are very chill.
Yeah.
That I can actually smoke multiple bong rips and like a whole joint of, and it's fine. But there's somewhere I'm like, take one puff. I'm like, ooh, was that one puff too many? But it's okay. I've gone through my time of seeing who could outsmoke who and doing all that stuff. I don't like.
You don't need to take 1 gram dabs.
Yeah, I'm sure I would have loved that if dabs existed.
Yeah,
like that. But I had my 6 foot bong, 6 foot plastic bong.
Yeah, me too. We had a couple different ones. We had a cardboard one. We had a glass one that was, I think the 5 foot glass one broke at some point.
I think the first time I smoked weed was 11, and like after that I was making a bong out of an Advil bottle in the back of my math class. Yeah, and I just was.
Oh yeah, we made bongs
in love with it, and
out of everything.
Yeah, MacGyver was big at the time, so that was influential.
The bong MacGyvers. Shout out to all those bong MacGyvers out there, because there was a lot of them back. We used to take apples, fruits, pretty much anything. Gravity bongs was a big thing, and now gravity bongs are coming back.
I mean, I loved the gravity bong. I do. I really have an appreciation. I don't think I can handle much now because I'm all soft, but the G bongs in the kitchen sink. You double up, get the cranberry gallon, wide mouth.
Yeah, my friend Matt Warren had one in his closet. And I remember when my wife and I went over to his house one day, this was after we hadn't hung out in several years, but he's like, dude, I still got a gravity bong. I was like super excited. Open up the cooler. It smells like bong water. My wife was like, nah, not for me. You guys go ahead. It was very nostalgic, with the 2-gallon, but now they're making them out of glass. Pretty wild.
It's like, with all the coffee equipment and the upside down brewers and all that, it's like, I could see how like you could make a gravity bong classy. Why not?
Yeah. They're doing it with everything else. Yeah.
I like that. I'm for it.
Soon to have, they already have patches, the thin Listerine strips. That's going to be a big thing.
Gravity bong, you could have like a little personal size. Like I'd do maybe a 12-ounce can gravity bong for a little personal snapper. Totally.
Yeah, we're more of the 12-ounce than the Alhambra water gallon, the big Alhambra jugs.
Yeah, I think my days are done on that. But yeah, I actually want to like taste everything and like not just a giant chamber of stale.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend had an Alhambra 5-gallon water jug that they had for the pool. Pretty sure.
Put his head inside and drop it down. Or
I don't remember if they ever put their heads inside, but I know someone tried to jump in and like fucked up their face. But yeah, the good times.
On the bong?
On the lips. Yeah, around the lips.
Good times. While they're trying to jump in and take
one to the face.
Good time. It sounds
good
like
times.
A good time.
Yeah, it makes for good stories. This is like over 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of crazy things back then.
For sure. We didn't see a lot of the repercussions spread virally online for doing dumb things.
Yeah, totally. We didn't have the internet like they have today. I kind of wish we did for some of the freaking hilarious things, 'Cause I would say there's a lot of hilarious things that kids have no idea about, but today.
Yeah. Now it'd be like too dangerous. It's some of the things we did, like the things that I'm like, hey, you can't do that. That could, be bad for your health at some point. And then I think back to some flashback of like some nightmarish thing I was doing with no afterthought. Yeah.
We did a lot of those. We said a lot of crazy things. We would get canceled today for the crazy stuff we said.
You grew up out here? No. Yeah.
I did. I grew up in the Bay. Grateful Dead culture. We had a lot of psychedelics, a lot of parties, a lot of good fun stuff. The music scene was popping out here. It was like we had a lot of good stuff.
We had nothing popping, so we were like, we were looking for some outside
cow tipping
stimulation. Yeah, no cow tipping for us. That was kind of reserved for the other crowd in the town we grew up in. We were the outsiders. We were like the weird hippie cult kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
Grateful Dead?
No, it's just like, now it's not that weird. It's just like, it was like meditation and doing yoga and doing breath work. And
nice.
Back then in the 80s, it wasn't like on trend.
Totally. We're similar ages. We grew up at similar times, saw similar things when the toys were really cool.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah. They're like the
TV shows too. The 80s TV shows rocked.
Yeah. I was kind of bummed out when I for all the little specials when I learned that the TV shows were like to try to sell the toys. I was like, dang it. I thought that was like,
I don't mind.
The real thing. Yeah, you don't mind. Yeah. It still worked. I was down for He-Man, G.I. Joes. It was all good.
Dude, literally, there were so many cool toys when we were growing up. Literally, and the Sunday morning cartoons, it was wild. But like Voltron. Mm-hmm. And if you couldn't afford Voltron, you got GoBots.
Yeah. And things were like, it was like very definitive categories. And now I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go to the store with my kids and see if they'll get into anything. I'm like, I can't even separate what is what. It's like, it's all like weird trash versions that aren't really knockoffs, but are. I'm like, they're all, there's no consistency. And I'm like a collector. Like I need some sort of like, this is the theme of this. Yeah. And I'm like, it's just too all over the place. It's
Star Wars. We were limited, but the toys were really good. Like they were made well too. They didn't break very easily. Tonka trucks. My brother broke my arm with the Tonka truck when I was a kid.
I have a Tonka truck my uncle painted for me for my birthday when I was like 7 years old, and it had like Ian's towing truck, and it has the cranks on it, and you can tow shit on it. And I remember playing with it when I was 8 and now, and I'm like showing it to my kids, like it's not quite stimulating.
We used to play rough. I mean, my brother broke my arm. He stabbed me. We, good times, but like those are all it's part of growing up, and I mean, that kind of stuff will make you tough, hopefully.
Yeah, there was a lot more like almost stabbings, I remember. It was just like, oh, so-and-so chased his brother around the house with sharp scissors and was really trying to stab him. But we were all like laughing, like, hey,
no, I was the one that got stabbed. Yeah, no, we used to get in fights. People would lose teeth. I have a friend that lost his teeth. Like all of his teeth, too, not just a couple of his teeth, like literally the whole, he got elbowed.
It wasn't like a bunk bed incident.
No, it was an elbow. Oh, it was a spinning elbow and boom.
Yeah, I think my brother has a story where I dared him to put his foot over a nail and then I stomped on it and I was like, I don't think that's real. That's probably made that up, but it might have been real. I was smaller and younger. I had to do what I had to do.
Right.
If he fell for it, then.
Dude, so how did you get the name Uncle Dad Vibes?
Speaking of my brother, it was just the first mention of it was just as a joke when I bought like a Honda Fit, and I was like, "This is like, I can't believe this is what I'm coming to." I'm like, "Let's get this kind of efficient and makes sense mobile," and it's like I'm like an uncle and a dad, and then we started joking about like the Uncle Dad. We're like a little bit of wild, but like trying to be an adult and trying to learn how to have responsibilities, like buying a fuel efficient hatchback as an adult. And then it developed over time where we just make fun of ourselves for the aging process. And at one point I called him to let him know that my wife was we were pregnant.
Yeah.
And to surprise him. And I was like, hey, I have a surprise for you. He's like, I have a surprise for you. And then we both realized that we had gotten our wives pregnant within the same month. And we're like,
wow.
Yeah, it was like just furthering the joke that the Uncle Dad prophecy was like
totally
real. But then there's like negative things, I guess. I didn't know that it was a thing. It's like a dad who's not a dad. And I'm like, the most hardcore thing I do is make sure I'm a fucking dad. Like that's my number. So it's not to be confused with that.
Are you more of a dad than an uncle or an uncle than a dad? Or, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all the way dad.
I have no kids, so I got uncle vibes.
Yeah, see, you can do that. And you can still be responsible as well. But
totally.
That's we just have a hard time growing up because we were like wild kids.
Yeah.
I think the
80s and 90s
we have
were
to look
wild.
back sometimes and we're like, damn, like, just doing the normal like life thing. I mean, some of us haven't made big changes. I feel like I didn't get the memo to like start only dressing from J. Crew and like being like a grown up adult, like
who says you have to grow up?
Yeah, I'm like, why am I have to change? What year do I have to change everything about me and like start listening to Kenny G or something? I don't know.
Hey, I like Kenny G.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's very soothing,
Sure. I like Yanni. I like Kenny G. It's but not in the traditional sense. Like I'm not going to go put Kenny G on in the car necessarily, but Kenny G Christmas.
I'm sure he. If I saw him live, I would probably be like, you know what?
He's talented.
I'm down. I get down.
Him and John Mayer.
Anyone that plays music,
John Mayer has really grown on me, to be 100% honest. The Body is Wonderland stuff, not for me necessarily, but him playing with Dead and Company, epic.
I did. It was like a weird thing to see him on the Chappelle show. And like, wait, does he have like some sort of? So there must be something we don't know. It was like and then it turns out he was like a funny dude. And then when he went to the Dead, I couldn't imagine. Like, I'm not a Grateful Dead fan, but even without being a fan, I was like, ooh, that's rough. You got like the breathy teenage girl singer.
Well, he brought a lot to the band, including the fans.
Is incredible.
Yeah, 100%. His guitar playing is next level. He's got a pitch perfect voice. You can't go wrong. His voice, it's a very commercial sound now, and there's nothing wrong with that. It took a little bit of getting used to. It's not Jerry. It's not Jerry and Phil and Bobby and what it used to be, but it's also good music, and it's also carrying on a legacy, and that's why it's important to so many Deadheads. And I think there's still beauty in the music.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a hard role to fill. So like props to him, because if you're too similar and try to create the familiar sound, it's like not authentic and people will be mad that you're knocking it off. If it's different, then you have to go through that transition period. Like I remember like Sublime and then Sublime with Rome. Like I don't think I listened to Sublime with Rome ever until
And Rome is really good though.
until I saw him like last year, and I was like, oh, like he made it his own, and he was good. But I was like, I refuse.
Yeah. Well, Rome is really. I mean, I really loved Sublime when I was younger too. I just love music in general, like good music.
Yeah,
I love all good music, but Sublime was epic. Rome is really talented, and it was kind of weird, but he's so good. He's really like, I feel like he has an amazing voice. I'm a huge Slightly Stupid fan. Those guys were found by Bradley, back in the day, and now Bradley's son, he's crushing with Sublime. He kind of has, he has Bradley vibes for sure.
Yeah. It's hard to fill those shoes with especially in like any sort of musician that has the spotlight, because he was definitely like, the last, not the role model that people wanted. It's like, oh, he was high on a lot of different drugs, and he was like known to be like not just this clean cut, SoCal boy. It's
killed it.
You could tell, his live stuff was amazing. But I'm a big fan of music also, and I think a lot of the music from our era had a big impact, not just like in the sound, but in like the the backpack stuff and the unsigned and like no record labels. Like if you sell out, you sign up, you sell out. Like you can't do that. Like I'd rather, you got to be independent, do all this stuff. Like it definitely.
Well, we were alive when there was good music. I when I pass, I was alive when there was good music. We experienced good music growing up. There was no auto tune. It was real music, real musicians playing instruments, real voices. Gwen Stefani early days was epic. Sublime early, their stuff was amazing.
You hear the passion.
But then, we missed some stuff like Jimi Hendrix. Like that was before my era, but we also missed Bruce Lee. So
yeah, exactly. I don't feel like I'm missing too much. If I didn't hear anything that was coming out right now, I don't think I would be that bummed about it. But I try to still be open. I'm like so out of touch with the new stuff. I'm like 6 years behind on new music. So I'm like, oh, you hear that new Nipsey Hussle? Like that's pretty good. He's been dead for a while, and I'm like, oh, you know what? He's actually pretty good. All right.
Yeah, there is a ton of good music out now too. It's just different. But like when we were younger, there was no faking it, or you couldn't fake it. Milli Vanilli faked it.
Yeah.
Right. Getting back to our industry. Yeah. Tell me about your first experience smoking.
Oh man, first experience smoking was definitely some brick Mexi swag.
Seeds?
And like the process, I mean, I actually enjoyed the whole process, and I kind of do my seed sorting the same way now. Like I like the top box of a board game or something.
Yeah.
It's got to be the right grid of cardboard to catch. And I mean, if I'm not doing like big production numbers, but
like 50, 60,000.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, I got this really great deal on this ounce of brown swag. And after you sort it out, there's like this much weed and this much stems and seeds. And so we had this one guy who was a weird, he wore the same green track pants and he had red dreads, and he like provided the swag for a little while in our small Iowa town. And
we sell pizza?
No pizza. But he was looking back, I'm like, that was pretty weird that he was hanging out with a bunch of teenagers smoking weed. But he wasn't. It is what it is. But we would go out we'd walk out the train tracks like as far as we could before we decided here's a good spot, and we just like cut off. And normally we'd like build forts, or like someone would like bring along some cigarettes that they found, or like half smoked cigs, or like something weird. Right. And we just we smoked down there, and I felt like it was a placebo effect the first time. Like I thought I was expecting to have this crazy feeling, so I was like, oh yeah, it's totally it. But I realized later that was not like the actual effect. Like for some reason, the first time I smoked, it didn't really do all that much.
Not just you.
Yeah.
Most of us. Same thing.
And the second time I smoked was right before I was supposed to go do a play. And that was wild.
Wow.
Like, because I'm not like, I'm already a little socially, uncomfortable sometimes. And I was like, I'm going to go do a play. And I'm like so high. And I didn't know if I was going to remember my lines.
Did you?
And I did. And I had a
Nice.
great time. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of us were just meant to enjoy the plant, and not all of us are. I think it's subjective to the individual, but like some of us, it improves us on some level. Like it helps people focus, and some people it makes them not able to focus at all. But habitual users definitely, I think it's just part of who we are.
Yeah, I mean, and I was pretty like, for me, I was pretty devastated when I got to this weird turning point where something happened, and I remember like the exact time.
Yeah.
I was pretty much like an all day, every day smoker. Like I'd wake up and smoke, and throughout the day smoke, and all of a sudden I just like, I think I was visiting Iowa, and I hit this turkey bag out of a volcano that my stepmom, I think, had like when they picked me up from the airport, and I was like, oh, this is weird. I haven't felt this feeling in a while.
Was stale smoking it like they did at the house, brought it
like
to
tied
you?
up, And I was like, oh, this is weird. Like that's got to be a fluke. And I just like kept smoking like every day, still trying to be like, oh, that's weird. But each time I was like, man, something changed and shifted in it. And I was like, because I was always planning on smoking until I was 90 years old on the porch.
Right.
I was like a big advocate for it.
Corncob pipe.
And so like that, I think it was like 2 years before I like stopped trying to like wish that feeling away. And then I like realized that there's certain things I could smoke. There's certain things maybe I couldn't. And I've talked to a lot of people that were heavy smokers and that aren't as much anymore for similar reasons. There's like a switch.
I got
like
burnouts. We call them burnouts.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of friends. No, literally, some of my friends that I used to grow with, they had kids. They went through whatever they went through in life, and now they don't smoke anymore. Some of my friends were amazing musicians, and that's just part of who they are. They've evolved away from it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not going to judge them, but I love talking about it. I love everything about it.
I still love the plant so much. I like all the way through. I don't, just because I don't smoke like a quarter a day or whatever. It's like I appreciate the times when I do, and it's enjoyable. It's like the best thing ever.
Right.
But and that's why I'm trying to find, wouldn't have started by trying to find things that I could smoke more of, if I didn't love it. So
it's tough though, as part of your job, being a breeder, you got to try a lot of stuff. So you always got to keep your palate sharp. You got to keep your rolling skills sharp. All those things. I feel like for me, those are the things that are important to me. It's like, okay, I got to still roll all the time because I want my rolls to be perfect. I got to basically test stuff all the time so I keep my palate sharp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I still have to test. I still will taste everything as I go through it. It's just I'm not smoking a whole joint where I would have loved that chance before. And even like the joints, like I like to roll, ideally like big joints, even if I'm only going to take a few hits off of it. I'm like, I still want that the density of the smoke and the flavor.
I feel like that's the best way to find the flaws is using 2 or more grams, 2 to 3.5. You're going to see and taste the flaws. Also, flavor transfer. I want to see what it tastes like at the top, in the middle, and at the bottom, and see if the flavor goes all the way down.
Yeah, I like that development of the flavor. Just like,
and it can change. Some flavor, like some where you light it up, it tastes one way, and then as it progresses, it can taste more terpy, or it can be, it can taste good in the beginning and then go muted, or muted in the beginning and then get really good.
Yeah.
There's
or
so
paper
many different
and then
ways.
Cardboard and then more paper. And
I love
there's
cardboard
a long
terps.
period of that. Yeah, the cardboard terps they had a long run.
Oreos. Or what do you think about Oreos?
I mean, I've just never been into a batch that I've tried personally. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure maybe someone somewhere not in the woods knocks it out of the park and has a chocolatey, sweet, sugary flavor, but I've never had it.
Never, me neither.
I remember I didn't even really, honestly, like I didn't love cookies when it was coming out, because when I was growing, we were doing a lot of OGs, and the cookies started were getting popular, and
in the beginning it was so good.
I liked, right, and I feel like there's definitely like a lot of lost flavor that was there early on, but even that.
We're bringing
I
it
don't know.
back. We're
I just
bringing it
think-
back. I feel like cookies is coming back. We got a pheno that was pheno hunted from seed,
Mm.
and it's got the flavor. It's got the original. It's more cookies than how cookies is now, because I feel like the cookies profile is completely muted on most of the people's. And it could be the lights. It could be the newts. It could be several different factors.
Mhm. I think that when people started accepting doughy as like a terp profile, that was like, oh, it's good, it's nice, it's doughy, and like that was
When did that
weird. I
start?
don't know.
With wedding cake, maybe? I
Maybe.
think like cookies was doughy, but I don't think we came up with the
But there's,
term
like-
doughy until wedding cake came out, and it was like bready, doughy. Lava cake and sugarberry scone, they're like reciprocal crosses from our good friend
Kevin.
over there, Kevin. I haven't seen Kevin in a while, but
The
I need to
elusive-
get him out here.
Yeah, for sure. The Wizard of Oz. Yeah. I think that there's actually some stuff that we were just running and hunting through up at High Hill that was like, I smelled the cookie terp. Like, I was like, oh, wow. I forgot
Yeah.
what the actual terp was on that. It was because I was just so used to like watered down, doughy bready, sweet bread.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Well, yeah, and I'm not exactly sure what cookies is or where that doughiness came from it. Like
Mhm.
as far as like there was almost a floralness to it, but it was more so when I think cookies, I think of like that doughy, I think of anise, like cherry,
Mhm.
right? We got cherry, we got licorice, and we got dough.
For sure. I feel like when the liquor is like the crust of the cookie, and right when it goes to the inside of the cookie that you're actually tasting, and then like that anise, and there's something like an oomph that happens that is
There's that cherry
a
pie
huge
that's
difference,
probably
yeah.
in there.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's hard to say what was in there actually, but definitely
Well,
I believe
when you
Durban.
actually smell it again, you
Yeah.
either taste it or it's.
Well, that's how I know Durban is actually in the cookies, is because the Durban that we used to grow used to smell like licoricey, like the licorice that's in the cookies. So when I smelled the cookies for the first time, I was like, damn, they smell similar to that Durban. And then someone had said, oh, there's Durban in there.
Mhm.
You know, and so
And it had like weird like singe your like nostrils a little more. It's like it had that. Well,
when cookies was done right, it was so loud though back in the day. It was loud. It had good bag appeal. I remember the cookies and the OG were kind of dominating. There was still sour. Sour was popping. We
Mhm.
loved sour. This is like 2010-ish.
Mhm.
So 15 years ago, like the freaking sour was amazing back then still.
Yeah, I remember doing a lot. It was like a lot of like it was like SFE and then Fire G, and then we'd do like a little Blue Dream block to like balance out the weight on it. And
Little
then
green
whatever, like
crack.
I don't hate green crack, Romulan, stuff like that. And there's nothing that I hate with weed. I just some people are like, oh, I hate Blue Dream, I hate this. Like I really don't. There's no flower that I hate. I don't even hate Jack. I think there's certain
There's
times
good Jack.
there's good Jack.
And there's bad Jack.
There's something about it, like when it has like a velvety, custardy bottom, or like something that balances it out a little bit, and it's not just.
Jack can be complex too. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be just a straight like lemony Jack. Like that's not the Jack that we grew up with, which is so funny because a lot of the Jack now I see is like, okay, it's not the same Jack. It's this very linear thing.
Mhm.
Right. And I think so much of that has to do with cultivation as well, cultivation techniques. The grower is just as important as the genetics.
Mhm.
But yeah, there was a lot of good stuff back in the day that I miss. And some of the stuff that I didn't like back in the day, I like now. Power plant. That's it came from Europe. It's like this interesting profile that I was not into when I was younger. And maybe it wasn't grown correct. Maybe, who knows?
Mhm.
But I did not like it at all. And so, but now I'm like, shit, I would love to get some of that. Somebody has some of that. Give me that.
I do want to revisit. I've got my stash of kind of the older stuff that I try to filter in every once in a while when I'm hunting. Like I got some AKs from somebody and some old widows and some orange fuzz and some other NY diesels and just try to get back into some of those old flavors. Like the weed I remember when I was into it was like it was either pressed or fluffy. And it's like that was good or bad.
Yeah.
And then when they started having names, that I remember it was like blueberry and Alaskan Thunderfuck, which we never actually saw, but that was like a name. And then AK-47 and White Widow.
Yeah.
And that was like those are the first ones that I ever heard about.
What was your favorite out of those?
Blueberry.
And was it the DJ Short blueberry, or was it a long, tall, speary blueberry? We talk about this a lot.
This was like, I was just, at the time, I had no idea that there was any sort of difference in it. It was just like one that's like, oh shit, this smells like blueberries.
Yeah.
And I mean, when we were little, there was probably times where I thought that PM was like special flavor crystals on something, you know, or
like I've been smoking PM since I was 8 years old. And I'm fine.
Tolerant. Yeah. But yeah, no, and I still love the blueberry, and the only I have some seeds that I'm hunting again of the blueberry, but it's not. I don't think it's short.
Well, there was Oregon blueberry, Canadian blueberry, and DJ Shorts. I believe those are the three sources of blueberry terps.
Mm-hmm.
It probably came from some Thai or Southeast Asian.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like some of those fruity flavors came across through there. DJ Shorts is really good, unique, but it's a short plant.
And that's the one that I have. I have one cut on hand that is that, and it's just the seeds are always tiny, and it's a kind of a little, almost Skittlesy plant, but not quite as long in the leaf. Like
leafy, no structure.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
Something's wrong with this. It's like falling. It's only this tall, but it's still falling over.
Well, some of those get overlooked too. Like I feel like if you're pheno hunting and you're going for looks, you're going to get rid of a lot of the good stuff.
For sure. And I think that you don't need to have both parents don't have to be these crazy dominant 10 out of 10. I just don't believe in that. I think if somebody has a smell, I'm almost excited. Like the weird little Santa's little helper dog in the back, that one smells the best and it's kind of funky. I want to play with that and put it on some other things that could help it out.
Yeah.
And these guys I'm working with right now, one of the partnerships I'm doing is they have been incredible. They're down for whatever. They don't care if it's candy. They let me pick where they were going to hunt, and they're stoked about it. And we're just going through, and they have the stuff that they want to look for their brand, and I'm just looking for nose and taste, and I like the experience along the way and how it can change and be heartbreaking. This is the winner at this stage, winner at this stage, winner at this stage. Oh, after the bag, and it can go the other way around and be you learn quickly that throwing things away, even right before harvest, because you're it's not going to do anything. I've had times where those ones somehow just like a horse race.
Yeah.
Just jumped the gun.
Totally. All the way at the end. You had this one picked out that's going to be the best.
Yeah.
The whole time you're this is the one. It looks amazing. And then at the end, somehow this other one finishes and it's got better terps, or it smokes better. Some of the stuff you're oh, this is so good, but then it doesn't transfer in flavor.
Exactly.
Right? And then you get stuff it's almost muted on the nose, but you smoke it and it's that's the one.
There's some, and the difference for me, the ones, since I like a lot of the fruity stuff and the kind of rotten stuff, it's usually the relation of the actual nose to the flavor, and it doesn't always translate.
No.
And the other thing is I like ones that do taste exactly like the smell, and I also like the ones where that doesn't smell like that taste at all, and maybe it goes on a little bit of a transition as you're tasting.
When sometimes we have to grow them out multiple times, and the first time might be the best, and then the second 2 times after, I'm still chasing, literally chasing the dragon on the ZDP. The first time we grew it, everyone was dude, that is the one that's going to be the next big winner. But it was grown under HPS, and the guys who grow it with me in metric, those guys are grown under LEDs. And so I think it's the combination of the nutrients, but the lights are big factors. And also genetics change within the first 3 cycles. So it could just be that it's different.
Mm-hmm. For sure. That's a whole other element of the time taking. And sometimes there'll be, I'm going to cull things out because it was, maybe I ran it straight from seed and I didn't run it from the first generation. And it could be a little more unstable, or see what happens. And I try to hunt under the same lights that I'm going to grow flower production for, or designate it to go wherever this is going to go for. If I'm trying to hunt something for a hash, then I'll probably run it. I'll probably breed it out, or I'll do the pollination outside as well.
Yeah.
And then hunt it, and then try to whatever the target is, I will pollinate under LEDs or LACs, HPS, and outside, and then with the idea of like having a location in mind that I'm going to try to have them end up. But I mean, it's chaotic.
Totally. So if you had one piece of advice for your younger self, what would that one piece be?
I mean, I would really just put the emphasis on trying to create as many spaces as possible, but actually like isolating those spaces. So you could, for me, when I was younger, when there wasn't all the tech and like the meters, Roy and all that, like I think if I was going to do 6 or 8 lights, I would want 6 or 8 actual like little contained spaces to faster you can play in that turnover with the crops. It's like, because otherwise it's like a waiting game. You realize something went wrong or you realize something went right. And you're like, well, that happened to all this and I'm going to wait till the next full round. Like if I had one big ass greenhouse, I feel like I would learn more from 6 individual
tents. Yeah, we got tents here too. So we do stuff in tents. We do stuff. We have a big room for seed production. Then we have small tents for smaller rounds where we're just going through stuff. And also, so the new thing that we're doing, putting everybody on game here, but we're doing pheno hunting and we're basically flipping clones from very small size to see how they express before we're going to experiment with it. I've never done that before. We've done pheno hunts where we fully grow the plants out without topping them. This time what we're doing is we're going to grow small little clones out and see what happens. We're flipping them right as clones, so they're only going to get this big. We're putting a huge tent full of a whole bunch of small plants.
Interesting, yeah. I was just talking to somebody that they will pollinate at the first signs of hairs and then they'll wash everything.
Yeah.
And that'll be the only thing. And they said that everything grows out great and then we'll just have a couple seeds in the end and they'll do it that way. I'm like, that's...
But everybody's got their own way of doing it. Yeah. I mean, we're releasing a bunch of washers, so we have to test all these washers out. And I'm excited about doing washers. Like this is my first real attempt at doing washers. And we got a good donor that we're working off of. And then we're going to create lines off of that where I feel like it's going to be nice. It's going to be fun. It's going to be high yielding.
Do you, when you're doing that, it's like, what's the baseline for how you're setting? Like, are you matching your environment for that hunt to whoever is going to be doing the washing for you? Or like, cause I feel like so much of that is done within, there's so much of the quality of like how it's going to wash also, besides the genetics, obviously, but is the environment and the,
I agree.
Feedings and that.
And also harvesting early.
And when you're going to do it, like you have to follow, this if you're going to grow this and expect this.
Yeah.
And
it's a different style of cultivation for sure. I think that working with people that are actually washing helps as a breeder who's creating washers. Some of these guys are like, oh, I'm just going to cross this washer with this. Well, I want to release clones that are good washers. And instead of just selling seeds for other people to find those, we're going to find those seeds first, or we're going to find those keepers first. We're going to release those because we sell clones, loudclones.com.
Yeah, nice.
Gotta love it.
So it's awesome, man. Your containers are sick. Everything's cool. It's nice what you got.
We have a lot of fun.
That's the key. If we're not having fun, what the fuck are we doing?
Exactly. So if people are looking to find out more about Uncle Dad Vibes, they want some of them Uncle Dad Vibes, where can they go?
I just finally launched. I've been doing like the slow, weird, more cult style anti-brand build up on it, just because I wanted to have something that I would only do for myself and no other influence, and then needed like a passion project.
Right.
And now it's what I've got going, and I'm gonna have the website with me going. So I'll have that, and there's a few different options. There's gonna be like direct a la carte clones, and then there's gonna be kind of a subscription sort of plan, but it's more involved. You'll see when the website comes out, it's got all the details, but I'm doing like a seed program and then clone program, and then kind of trying to be fully involved with whoever's down to be a part of it and make it accessible and super affordable. Cause I think like for me, the future is I want to take care of the home growers, and I also really want to work with the big brands or farms and do things for them and try to like, keep up the good fight that way with people who are down to do it. Right now I work with High Hill and then Canaveras, and they both have pretty similar like outlooks on it.
Yeah.
They're both very local in-house. They're like, High Hill is organic living soil, and like everything, even the wood they mill to build their beds is right there.
Right.
And they were the ones that were down to just grow everything out. And they're going to run, an original lineup next year and take some chances. And their quality is incredible. And then the Canaveras guys are like, they want to do it strictly like kind of a cooperative for Calaveras County, which is pretty cool. Like everyone needs to fight the big dogs wherever we are.
Right.
And I think we're going to have like a nursery that's local just to those guys. And so that'll be cool. That'll be a way. And then High Hill will probably have a nursery. And then, I'm just going to be doing whatever kind of weirdo stuff that I want to put on or sell that's not trending. And then I could do stuff with Lance, a craft farmer. So we're going to be releasing this project, which is more like like put some intention into some more candies or like do like candy adjacent and things like that. Cause he's got a good market, really good market for that. And people are starting to branch out. My favorite is greenweed.
Greenweed's making a comeback.
So.
But dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. I look forward to having you back. We could work on some projects together. I'd love to get you some of my genetics. I'd love to get some more of your genetics. We can do some hunts together.
Yeah, you should come up to the Donkey Ranch.
I'm excited.
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you guys very much for your support. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe down below.